Well, a highly anticipated vote took place in Hamilton yesterday. City Council has struck down a bylaw that would have halted development of data centres. The bylaw proposed a one-year moratorium on the projects. The vote was 10-6 against the temporary ban. It was intended to give the city time to develop further rules around data centres. Dozens of people gathered ahead of the vote to protest against the data centres and the large amount of energy required to run them. Those in support of the facility say a moratorium would drive business away from the city. A separate meeting was held on Tuesday where councillors heard from those in favour of the project. There are at least 2 proposed data centres in Hamilton. Joining us is Hamilton City Councillor Tammy Hwang. She voted in opposition of this bylaw, so on the side that ended up carrying the day, and is calling for a municipal framework for data centres. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you feeling after yesterday's vote?
Hi, Ian. I gotta say, and I'll be honest, it's not awesome, mostly because this has been a very complex, controversial vote, and it has generated significant challenge. A lot of emotions are high on this one, but I think as a governor, the reason why we wanted to vote this way was we wanted to have a data-driven, balanced decision-making when it comes to how interim control bylaws, as well as how data centers will affect Hamilton and our community. And so it's been a challenging day.
Yeah, so thank you very much, especially for being willing to talk to us on this challenging day. One of the reasons why we want to explore the story is, of course, it's not just Hamilton that's dealing with this issue of the data centers. It's something that many other municipalities are dealing with. What about the concerns that we hear over and over again about the enormous amount of power, of energy that these data centers require?
So all of the concerns that residents have are completely valid and completely in line with one of the challenges of data centers. I think that when we are talking about anything from controlling water, energy, noise, a lot of that is actually outside of our jurisdiction. It is something that we are bound by provincial regulations in order to mandate and regulate all of those. And at the end of the day, the city is only available in looking at zoning permissions and land use. So given that, the things that residents and community are very concerned with are also things that I'm concerned with. But I struggle because a lot of this is outside of the municipal's capability, decision-making, and hands. So when we were thinking about how this will affect Hamiltonians moving forward, we believe that there are still opportunities to get involved and to have conversations. Staff are coming back with a report and recommendations on where are the gaps and what can we do and what are the recommendations. All of those will ultimately have to filter up to the province in order for the province to also weigh in. And so when it comes to making things move forward and ensuring that residents feel that they have been heard, because we have heard you loud and clear and very, very vociferously. I think that what we need to say is we need to work together with the province and the feds in order to come up with some standardized framework that works for all municipalities and all communities.
We don't have much time left, but I have one and maybe 2 questions, so maybe a minute on each of those, if you don't mind. And it sounds like part of the reason why you made the decision to overturn or not support this one-year moratorium on data centers in Hamilton is on almost a kind of jurisdictional or procedural level. But do you also think that it's going to be good for Hamilton to have these data centers?
I think that data centers are different. And so some of them that we hear about are the large hyperscale type data centers, the ones that take up tons of space, tons of water and electricity. But then there are other ones that are here for public good, ones that are data driven, research oriented, specifically set up to help our digital infrastructure. And in Hamilton, that was part of the reason for choosing not to vote down the interim control bylaw, was because it would ultimately put a freeze on 2 massive investments that would be in the public good and public realm of innovation and research.
One last thing, given the emotions here, given the criticism, given the fact that this has been, by your description, a very challenging day, the day after the vote, again, maybe in less than a minute, what advice do you have for other Canadian communities that are struggling with this data center issue?
I think we all need to come together because we do need to have a standardized approach to how data centers are implemented into our communities. I already hear that other municipalities very close to Hamilton are also struggling with this as well. The fact is there is a void and lack of leadership from the province and the feds on this particular aspect. And the fact is we are at the community forefront, and that's where it affects community the most, is at the municipalities.
Well, I appreciate your candor, and I appreciate you taking time on what has been politically, at least personally, I'm sure too, a difficult day. Tammy Hwang in Hamilton, thank you.
Thank you.